Good morning, guys. How are we all doing? Hi, I'm Dan from Trading with Dan. This is our Bitcoin morning update. So if you guys wouldn't mind smashing that like button, we shall go straight over to those Bitcoin 4-hour charts. So yes, Bitcoin on the 4-hour. Look, we have been doing pretty much a whole lot of nothing for a good few days now. Literally from the 21st of January up until we are now on the 7th of February, it's pretty much been operating around this resistance or support area, however you want to look at it. But this area, probably could look at it more as a resistance area. We've not managed to spend much time above it. However, obviously the underside of this area has been supporting price action as it is just now. So yeah, not a whole lot of nothing. In true Bitcoin fashion, we make our big moves, we trade sideways, we make big moves to trade sideways. So yeah, not much going on there. That is not bad, the price action, to say. If we go and look at some of these macro markets, not so much the S&P, which is not doing too bad, holding up above this level here. Didn't manage to hold above this pretty important level of resistance, but nonetheless is testing back to the underside. But if we go and have a look at the DXY finally came down and tagged that target that we were looking at. I did mention a few times this was the main target, this level. Also, when we were trading around here, it made sense that we were going to tag this target before we have any major bounce, and then the bounce can then take us back up back up to the underside of this resistance, which is here, this old support, new resistance, which is pretty much what happened in quick order. We dropped down, we tagged it, and then we bounced pretty sharpishly straight back up to the underside of this resistance. So it is nice to see the levels operating there. What you may notice generally in price action, you get a move, you get the extreme move the other direction, and then you consolidate. You've created a range, you then consolidate sideways between those two extremes. That is what I potentially expect to happen here. I think it's a bit of a stretch to expect the dollar to break above here and continue up to the next level, which is obviously up here. What I think is the most likely scenario now is that we trade sideways within these two extremes, and then we decide, are we going to break above or break back down below? Obviously, with my bias being back down below, as I am obviously as ever bullish risk assets. But yeah, so maybe we are going to see a pullback. But so my point I wanted to make is that for Bitcoin not to really move down in the face of this move, it kind of does indicate that the market is looking at this as just as a healthy retrace. I'm not throwing the baby out with the bathwater and dumping risk assets because of this move. If we are to break above this level, start to trade towards this 105, then yes, I'm sure there will be a major sell-off in risk assets. But at present, just looking at this, providing we stay below here, it's not looking bad for just sideways and then ultimately trading lower. So what does that mean? If we trade lower from here, trade sideways in here, then yes, Bitcoin can hold this support and then take another leg to the upside. We've got a bit of a problem over here in the bond market. Also has broken back above this level of resistance. However, I would note that it's got a long way before it gets up to this level, and it is still going to then be printing lower highs, as long as assuming it doesn't get above this high, and that is obviously still in a bearish trajectory. So that is not so bad. Stock markets, we did briefly look at them, but they're not doing too much. They're looking good. They are holding clean above this horizontal level here, and also above the downward sloping trend line. Just this next horizontal level stroke area. I do think where we tagged up to, as you can see, pretty important level. Get back above that, and then yeah, we could see some major acceleration. That basically being 4,200. What did not like this move in the dollar though was gold. However, it was just whacked straight down into its support level. This is the all-important 1840 to 1880 support level for gold that I spoke about for a long time now. I think this is the bull bear line for gold. So yes, I think we will hold this and continue up. I think the correction, I personally think, my view is that this correction in the dollar is going to struggle to go much higher. I think it gets rejected by this trade sideways and ultimately lower. I mean, if it does, this is the next level. We will then probably see a bit more of a worry in markets about where this dollar index is going. But at present, we're not. We obviously those warning flags aren't waving at the moment. Not much else to look at on here. Ethereum Satoshi pairing, very important level of support we needed to hold. We were talking about how dire the situation would be if we were to lose this. We'll be looking significantly lower. Holding at present, need to get back above this resistance area and get back above here. Then yeah, all systems go again. We may start to look good. The USD pairing holding up there above this support also, so that is good to see. Next level obviously is to clear this resistance above here, but holding above here, especially again in the face of that move in the dollar, is pretty bullish price action, I would say. Bitcoin dominance having a little bit of a pullback. I mean, everything seems to be playing into the levels pretty well. Played up to this level, rejected, came back down. This is still a bullish looking chart though. In this obviously short term here. So are we going to continue above this level, in which case things could get pretty bad for alts, or are we going to break back below here, trade back into this support, and then continue on lower? We shall have to see. Let's see how those good old stochastics are looking, see what they can foretell in price action. What is a nice bullish reset, I would say, in the 12-hour. As you can see here, it is coming down. Still obviously got room to run to the downside, but it has obviously did get elevated and stay elevated for a long time. So price action staying in and around 23,000 in Bitcoin whilst this comes down to reset. I would consider a bullish reset. Similarly in the daily, looking to lose a bit of its down momentum. Maybe it will turn up in the next couple of days if we are to stay above 23,000. By daily though, it's up there. It's very elevated. It's coming down. In this, I mean, a bullish reset on this. These 2-day and 3-day are clearly going to be a bit more potentially painful for price action. 5-day also turning down here. Weekly pretty elevated, and then we have to basically look to this bi-weekly and monthly for basically where we do still have room to run in these. So I mean, are we gonna we basically do have medium time frames and most of the longer time frames playing against each other here. So that in that scenario, I think the best we can hope for is sideways. And if we are to have the dollar index reject from here, just trade out this area, then we could very well see sideways in crypto whilst for a period of time, for a good few weeks, whilst these stochastics, these medium time frame stochastics reset. So yeah, that is about it. Not much else to really look at here. Remember, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Always do your own research, and I shall speak to you guys soon.